In a dark corner of the cold rescue camp, where the dim light is just enough to outline the outlines of loneliness, Rex, a German shepherd dog with scars of past, quietly awaits his cruel fate. Each passing day, the metal cage is not only a place to hold his body, but also a sad house, where faith gradually fades and hope gradually fades. The sighs, groans, and even the growls of other dogs echo in the empty space, creating a symphony of sadness and despair. Rex, with empty eyes but hidden in so much pain, no longer knows the joy of wagging his tail or barking innocently. Instead, he only knows how to silently endure and accept his predetermined fate. Everyone saw only a big dog with an unwanted appearance, a lost creature in the crowd, and no one seemed to notice that inside that cold cage, a soul that once knew how to love and be loved was slowly dying with each passing moment. Rex's story is not simply the sad moments of an abandoned dog, but also a whisper of hope, a silent call to be heard in the silence of the world. It is in that context, when everything seems to be only darkness, a fragile but meaningful ray of light is about to burst forth, opening the door to a journey that will change not only Rex's life but also the life of the person who will enter his life, Emily. While Rex was drowning in the loneliness of the metal cage, a small corner of the internet appeared with a fragile ray of hope but enough to light up a person's heart. In a small, quiet apartment, a young girl working in the veterinary industry with a passionate soul was scrolling through the information on social networks after a long, tiring day. Among countless photos and stories, one photo made her stop suddenly. The image of Rex. The dog's sad eyes, although blurred by time, still exuded a fragile but longing for love. Along with the photo was an urgent call. There are only 24 hours left to save Rex. Those simple words were like an alarm bell ringing in Emily's mind, evoking a deep emotion that she had long been silent. In that moment, everything around her seemed to slow down, leaving only the sound of her heart beating wildly and Rex's image vividly appearing, telling the story of those lonely and anxious days in the cold cage. Emily recalled the times she witnessed the sad stories of abandoned animals, unlucky dogs like Rex, creatures that not only needed a home, but also needed sincere love, a companion who knew how to listen and share. In her mind, she told herself that, although her life was not always easy, at least she could give her love to someone who was longing to live, to feel the simple joys of life. Sincere and determined, Emily could not let that call go unanswered. She quickly clicked on her phone, searching for the contact information of the rescue camp where Rex was being held. Amidst the mixed emotions of anxiety and hope, she dialed the phone number that seemed to echo from the sighs of the animals in the camp, the whispers of needing help. In the moment of waiting, Emily's mind floated back to the image of Rex, the image of a suffering soul who had not yet completely lost faith in life. With each passing moment, the silence of the phone grew heavier, but it did not shake her determination. Because Emily knew that there were fates that were not lucky enough to change if no one dared to stand up. With a resolute decision, she left an emotional message. "This is Emily. I saw your post about Rex. I know this is not an easy time, but I promise I will come to save him. Please hold Rex in place. Do not give up hope." In the quiet small apartment, amidst the faint rays of night light, Emily sat by the window, her heart filled with emotions. She wondered how many hearts were crying for fates like Rex's, and how many people would dare to believe that every living being deserves to live in love. That night, when the night fell, Emily did not sleep, but just quietly looked at the sky, imagining the moment when she would meet Rex, the moment when both of them would cross the boundary of pain together, opening a new chapter full of hope and love. A ray of hope from afar flared up in her heart, carrying the promise of a new life for Rex, and also a promise for Emily herself, that every heart, no matter how broken, can always find the light of life again if it knows how to accept and give love. With the call of the heart, the journey to save Rex began, promising to open new pages, where faith and hope will gradually be lit. Early the next morning, the sky was still tinged with the color of night, and the first rays of light filtered through the clouds. Emily woke up with a bustling and determined mood. In her heart, the image of Rex, the dog with sad but hopeful eyes, kept reminding her that every moment was precious. Without hesitation, she quickly put on her favorite coat, walked out of the small apartment to get in the car, and started the journey to the rescue camp. On the quiet road of the morning, Emily drove with a mixed mood. Each strip of light on the road was like a promise. Each shade of the trees on the roadside seemed to paint stories of hearts waiting for help. She remembered the promise she made to herself last night, that she would come and bring Rex a new life, a place that was no longer a cold cage of loneliness but a warm home filled with love and safety. The journey was not only a physical distance, but also a test of faith and courage. Emily had wondered how many people would dare to stand up in the busy flow of life to save miserable fates like Rex. But in this moment, all thoughts just disappeared into the cold morning air, replaced by a strong belief and desire to do the right thing. The old car rolled through the familiar streets, leading Emily to the rescue camp, where Rex had long been the heart of abandoned animals. She could feel the sigh of the city, the echoing sounds of life that seemed to be indifferent to the pain of a living being. But to Emily, every whisper, every strange look contained hope for help. The rescue camp appeared before her eyes like a sad but also meaningful picture. The old walls, the iron cages heavy with memories and pain, all seemed to tell the stories of many animals that had been forgotten. Emily parked her car in front of the gate, took a deep breath as if to regain all her strength to step into that place. With each step she took through the heavy gate, she felt the flood of memories and faith in a brighter future. Stepping inside, Emily found herself lost in another world, where the sounds of emptiness and survival mixed together, where each dog seemed to tell her a story of loneliness, of sleepless nights, and of broken dreams. And among them, Rex, the main character of the story, was waiting somewhere, in the darkness of the iron cage, with shy eyes and a heart full of memories. The journey to the rescue camp was not only Emily's journey, but also a turning point marking the beginning of a connection. She knew that when she arrived, she would not only find Rex, but also find herself, the person who always dared to stand up in the middle of life to save the broken pieces of love and hope. Emily walked through each hallway. Each step seemed to bring her closer to the long-awaited fate, where Rex's story was about to take a dramatic turn, promising to open a new chapter filled with faith and love. Emily walked slowly through the corridors of the rescue camp, her heart pounding, but also cautious. She knew that in each of those cold iron cages, there was a soul waiting to be saved. And then, after slow steps, Emily stood before the cage where Rex was held. The dim light from the ceiling lamp swayed throughout the space, reflecting on the old scars on Rex's gray fur. His eyes, which had been empty from months of silence, now seemed to suddenly awaken when he saw the figure coming from outside. Rex cowered, his body shrinking in a defensive reflex, but inside there was also an indescribable curiosity. Emily leaned closer to the cage, her voice soft and warm, like a whisper of hope. "Rex, it's me, don't be afraid. I'm here to help you. I promise you'll never be alone again." She kept her voice soft, avoiding any sound that might stir the fear in his wounded heart. In that moment of communion, Rex stared into Emily's eyes, seemingly searching for the truth behind the sweet promises. The sad eyes gradually replaced by a glimmer of hope, a rare feeling after months of neglect. The air became so quiet that only the steady heartbeat of two souls touching each other through the distance of steel remained. Time seemed to stop as two people, two souls, human and animal, began to open up their own stories. Emily gently placed her hand on the edge of the cage, as if wanting to send a message of love through each gesture. Rex, after a few moments of hesitation, slowly turned his nose towards that caring call. That first contact was not only a stepping stone to building trust, but also a defining moment for both of them, a decision that, no matter how dark their past, they would cross the line of pain together. In the emotional silence of the rescue camp, the first signs of a strong bond were formed. Rex was no longer a lonely, scared dog. He became a symbol of faith and hope as Emily's eyes gazed into his wounded soul. And Emily, with an open heart, sensed that this moment would be the first step on a journey of recovery, a journey in which the two would write a story of love and healing together. When the initial moment of gentle communication through the iron cage had ignited a glimmer of hope in Rex's heart, Emily did not let time pass in vain. In the silent space of the rescue camp, she leaned down close to the cage frame, her eyes filled with determination and compassion, and softly said, "Rex, I know your past is full of wounds, but today, we will rewrite the story of our lives together. I promise to never abandon you, no matter how difficult it is." Those words echoed in the air like a sacred oath, a promise not only for Rex, but also for Emily's belief in herself. In that moment, all barriers seemed to disappear. Only two hearts remained in harmony, determined to overcome the pain and move towards a new future. Rex, although still reserved and confused by the stranger's kind gestures, gradually appeared a spark of trust in his dim gray eyes. Emily slowly opened the cage door, an act that was both a permission and an invitation to freedom. "Here I am, Rex. Come out with me into a world where we can make things new together," she said, her voice warm but firm. was not just an invitation but also an affirmation. From this moment on, all the wounds of the past would be healed by sincere love and care. Under the dim light of the rescue camp, Rex hesitated for a moment, then took his first steps out of the cage. Each step he took seemed to mark a small victory, overcoming of the fear that had imprisoned his soul. Emily gently took Rex's hand, both to steady his faltering steps and to convey her belief that from now on, no one would have to suffer loneliness and isolation. In a space filled with sad memories, that promise became a warm flame, lighting up the future for both of them. Emily knows that the road ahead will not be smooth. There are challenges and shadows from the past still lurking. But with determination and love, she believes that Rex will soon learn to walk firmly on a new path, free and happy. In that moment, amid the dim light and the space filled with emotions, Emily's determination and Rex's faith seemed to blend together, creating an important turning point, a sacred promise to overcome all challenges together so that in the end, the light of love and hope will triumph over the shadows of the past. After Rex toddled out of the cage, Emily led him out of the rescue camp with care and gratitude. They walked through the gate heavy with memories, where each step Rex took seemed to mark his liberation from the painful past. The morning light filtered through the cracks of the iron gate, creating a scene that was both warm and full of promise. In the old car Emily had prepared, Rex sat by the window, his eyes gradually becoming brighter as he watched the world outside. Each new scene, the green trees, the deserted roads, or the chirping of birds, was like a lullaby from nature, dispelling the sad traces of the past. Emily looked at Rex with loving eyes, feeling each gentle beat of her heart gradually recovering. She understood that the journey to a new home was not simply a move to another place, but also the beginning of a new chapter of life, where every moment was built on the foundation of love and trust. During that journey, the air outside the car seemed to contribute to creating a colorful picture of hope. Emily and Rex shared a moment of silence, with only the sound of the car engine mixed with the whispers of the wind, as if the whole nature was accompanying them on their journey of healing. For Emily, every moment with Rex was a testament to resilience, to the power of love that transcends all limits. When the car stopped in front of a cozy little house on the outskirts of the city, Emily felt her heart flutter. The simple house with a lovely little garden, the warm lights from inside seemed to invite every soul looking for safety and peace. Emily stepped out, gently opened the door, and led Rex step by step into the new space, where everything was meticulously taken care of to create a home filled with love. From the very first moment, Rex felt the warm and gentle atmosphere of this place. Every little corner of the house was carefully arranged by Emily, from the soft bed to the clean food bowls, all containing sincere care. Emily placed each item, each small detail, meticulously as if to send a message that, from now on, Rex would no longer have to live in loneliness. On this new path, it was not only life outside the house, but also Rex's inner journey. He began to look around, sniffing every corner of the new space, his ears still a bit hesitant but gradually open to the familiar sounds of safety. Emily did not force, just left room for time and love to heal all wounds. She gently sat next to Rex, her eyes filled with faith and determination, as if to say, from now on, we will build a home together filled with love and hope. Emily and Rex's journey to their new home symbolizes a new beginning, where the painful past gradually fades away under the light of life, where every step is an affirmation that, despite being hurt, every heart deserves to be cherished and loved. And in that peaceful space, amidst the laughter of the wind and the gentle light of dawn, the bond between man and dog becomes stronger than ever, promising a future full of hope and joy. Day by day, Emily's warm home became a place to witness Rex's faltering but meaningful steps. In the mornings, when the first rays of sunlight crept through the window, Rex began to wake up with a new curiosity. At first, he just lay still, quietly observing everything around him, from the birds chirping in the garden to the sound of water dripping from the shower. Emily, noticing that, gently took the time to sit next to him, telling him about the simple but colorful things in life, small stories about the lovely garden, childhood memories, or even the dreams she wished to share. As the hours passed, Rex gradually began to feel the safety that Emily created. At first, he only furtively looked at Emily from afar, but then, when she gently invited him with warm gestures and words, Rex gradually regained a little bit of the lost trust. One afternoon, as Emily sat in the armchair by the window, Rex suddenly approached, his eyes searching for comfort. The light touch of his cold nose on Emily's hand seemed to send a message. I understand you, and you want to be loved too. The atmosphere in the house gradually became more lively through each small gesture. Emily began to teach Rex new habits, from eating on time to gentle lessons on how to communicate and share love. Every evening, after the two enjoyed a meal together, Emily often told Rex interesting stories or looked at the starry sky with him. Those moments, even if they were just a quiet presence together, became spiritual medicine, helping Rex gradually open his heart, dispelling the wounds of the past. Every step forward, no matter how small, was a testament to the power of love and perseverance. Rex was no longer the image of a lonely and fearful creature. He is learning to trust, to commit to a new life full of hope. Emily, with patience and love, is always by his side, quietly observing and encouraging Rex every day, whether through a light touch or a warm smile. However, the journey of building trust is not simple. There are still times when Rex becomes reserved, retreating into the dark corners of insecurity, as if the past still haunts and makes things difficult for her. But each time Emily gently soothes, with reassuring words and caring gestures, as if to say, "Believe, we will overcome all fears together." And through each moment, the trust between the two souls is gradually built, as strong as solid bricks on the ground of love. Those first steps in building trust not only help Rex gradually regain a sense of security, but also open the door to a deep connection, where each passing day is a new chapter in the healing journey. In Emily's eyes, Rex is not just a dog who once lived in loneliness but has now found his own value. He is a symbol of life, of the ability to overcome the past and move towards a bright future. And from there, their story becomes even more sacred, a living proof that love and sincere care can erase all wounds, bringing hope to the most wounded hearts. Emily and Rex's new life begins with peaceful and warm moments in the small house, but nothing is perfect forever. Soon, an unexpected challenge comes, forcing both of them to face the unforgettable past and the threats from outside. One night, when the cold wind blows through the window and the atmosphere is immersed in darkness, Rex suddenly becomes unusual. While Emily is absorbed in housework, a strange noise is heard from the yard. Rex, who has gradually regained his confidence, suddenly roars with unusual intensity, a roar that signals the appearance of something unstable. Emily immediately senses the signs of insecurity in Rex's eyes. The trust she has built cannot protect everything without vigilance. Quickly, Emily opens the door to check. In front of the door, a strange car was parked, its dim lights creating a gloomy silhouette, as if carrying the mysteries of past. In that moment, dark memories from the rescue camp and sad stories of abandoned creatures rushed back, making her heart beat wildly. Rex stood beside her, ready to unleash his protective instincts, his ears erect and his sharp eyes scanning the car. Despite the feeling of fear creeping into her mind, Emily did not hesitate. She quickly called the police, her voice warm but full of determination. "There is a stranger right in front of the house. I need help right now." While waiting, she bent down to Rex, gently stroked his head and whispered, "Don't worry, my dear. We will get through this together." In that moment, amidst the uncertainty and tension, the bond between Emily and Rex grew stronger. Rex, though still frightened, was willing to stand by her side, as if to protect the person he had placed his trust in. Only when the police arrived and the situation was under control did Emily breathe a sigh of relief, but her heart was still filled with emotion. Such challenges were not only reminders of the painful past, but also tests of perseverance and empathy. Emily realized that in order to protect her small home, she and Rex needed to always be vigilant and ready to face the unexpected. Over time, that event gradually became a valuable lesson. It helped both of them understand that life is not only about peaceful moments, but also about unexpected storms. After that night, Emily decided to increase the security of the house and spend more time sharing and talking with Rex. She believed that through each challenge, their love and trust would be further forged, stronger than ever. And even though the darkness can return at any time, she knows that as long as they have each other, they will always find the strength to overcome any hardship. This challenging part has contributed significantly to Rex's healing journey and is also the turning point for Emily to realize that, in life, difficulties are not to defeat us, but to teach us to cherish and protect the most precious things, love and lasting faith. After the storm of trials, the atmosphere in the small house gradually became warm and filled with peace. Emily and Rex had overcome the tense moments together, and from then on, each passing day further affirmed that their love and trust could overcome any obstacle. Every morning, the early sunlight filtered through the curtains, shining on Emily's gentle face and creating bright rays on Rex's for signs that all the wounds from the past were gradually healing. Emily started the new day by walking with Rex in the small garden of the house. The light footsteps on the paved path, the laughter of butterflies flying, and the chirping of birds echoed like encouragement, reminding that every moment was precious. Rex, who had lived in fear and loneliness, now ran freely in the sunlight, his eyes filled with joy and curiosity about the big world around him. Rex's transformation not only brought him happiness, but also a great source of encouragement for Emily. She felt that with each small step forward, life began to change in a positive direction. In the evening, when the whole family gathered around the dinner table, Emily often told funny stories or memorable memories of the day to Rex. Although he did not understand all the words, his attentive eyes and gentle tail wagging said it all. Those moments gradually became a sacred ritual for the two friends, reminding them that despite the challenges, true happiness always comes from sharing and empathy. Over time, Rex's belief was strengthened. He gradually stopped being shy when meeting strangers, but instead, he began to show friendliness and integration. Emily, with an open heart, was always proud to see Rex's progress every day, a living testament to the power of love and perseverance. They are not just owners and pets, but companions, writing together a story of revival and happiness. The challenges they have overcome are not just scars of the past, but also valuable lessons that teach them both the meaning of perseverance and faith. The return of happiness is not something that is naturally bestowed, but the result of every effort, every moment of sharing and endless companionship. And in the gentle light of each new morning, Emily and Rex both understand that, from the most difficult moments, they have found the strength to stand up and move forward, together reaching for their dreams and building a future filled with love. Amidst laughter, loving words, and even emotional moments of silence, Emily and Rex's story gradually becomes a living testament to the healing power of love, where faith is forged through every challenge, and true happiness only comes when the heart knows how to open up to receive. The story of Rex and Emily is a testament to the power of love and faith. From lonely days in a cold cage at a rescue camp, Rex gradually found the light again after meeting Emily, who not only gave him a new home, but also became a companion willing to share and heal the wounds of the past. Through each step of building trust, from the initial moments of sympathy to the journey of overcoming challenges, the two together overcame their fears and found happiness. The story is not only a journey to save a forgotten creature, but also a reminder that each of us can do miracles if we know how to give love and sincere care. If you feel inspired by this story and want to spread the message of love, please support our channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Each of your support will be a source of motivation for us to continue telling meaningful stories and touching people's hearts. Thank you very much.